Hello, my name is Giovanni Minchu, and this is my presentation on grit and mindset. Let me introduce first Angela Lee Duckworth. Angela Duckworth had a demanding job in management consulting and left to pursue teaching seventh graders in New York. She became the traditional teacher, handing out homework and tests like every other teacher would. While teaching, she believed everyone had the same capacity to learn and do well on their work. She noticed that IQ was not the only factor in getting students good grades. Angela left teaching to study adults and children to find out why some became more successful than others. She studied teachers who were new in poor districts and see how long they would last, and kids in the spelling bee contest. Her and her colleagues would determine which people would succeed more than others. Angela's conclusion was that the most successful people had the most grit. To Angela, grit is passion and perseverance for very long term goals. To me, it is sticking to your goals no matter what happens and what obstacles that get in your way. Excuse me. That is what grit means to me. Angela Lee also made a grit assessment. The grit assessment is scored 0 through 5. My results came out to be 3.1, which the assessment stated is 30% higher than the average adult. I will lower my score a bit due to some bias on my part. I do want to achieve as many goals as I set for myself. I would also want to improve my grit score from now on and keep pursuing my goals in my career. I hope in the future my score will get higher. How to increase grit? I believe the best way to increase grit is to keep focusing on a main goal and to not give up. To be grittier, a person needs to put themselves in a position to test their grit. If I want to write a book, I won't stop until I finish that book, even if I want to write about other subjects. I will write until that novel is finished. A person can display grit every day. I could set a goal to be at the gym for 2 hours, but in the middle of my workout, get tired or stop. Increasing my grit is continuing to work out until my 2 hours are up. There are many examples in our day-to-day lives in which we can improve and increase our grit. Now let's switch over to talking about a fixed and the growth mindset. A fixed mindset is one that believes everything is set in stone. For example, if I fail one math test and I believe every math test after that I will fail as well, then I have a fixed mindset. A growth mindset is one that is open to improvement and change. If I fail one math test but believe I can improve and pass the next one, then I can have a growth mindset. To me, a growth mindset is one that opens new doors and bursting your own bubble. A fixed mindset is staying in your own bubble and not opening any new doors, setting yourself back for failure. Now, let me give you an example of my personal grit and my growth mindset. My first semester of college, I failed biology and was set on academic probation. I could have given up on school and thought I wasn't smart enough to be in college. At the time, I did feel like that. Instead, I have a growth mindset and enough grit and will take biology again and be determined to pass and continue my way in getting my bachelor's degree. Grit and a growth mindset will impact my education in a positive way. Knowing I don't have the highest IQ does not mean I can't succeed in my education. That is proven by Angela's seventh grade classroom, in which she discovered that not everyone with the highest IQ passed. My goal is to get my bachelor's degree. It will take a lot of grit to get there, but with a growth mindset, it is possible, even if I fail a class or a test. With grit, it will allow me to pick myself back up and keep trying until I meet my end goal. Amal Alahadibi and Irene Kay published a research article in the International Journal of Adolescence and Youth and stated, the results demonstrated that grit, i.e. perseverance of effort and consistency of interest, positively associates with academic performance through a sequential pathway of meditators, including self-efficiency and achieving orientation goals. This proves that grit and a growth mindset improve on your education and in your life. This is my works cited page. I would like to thank you for listening on my presentation. And I hope you and I will continue on having enough grit, and a good growth mindset. Thank you.